Hey guys, this is Esfand, and I'm back with Drakova for Volume 2 of The Light and How to Swing It. And we actually wanted to do a direct follow-up to the last episode. We were trying to cut down on time, and between that and hearing some of the questions that you guys have asked us since then, we really just thought we needed to do another video on Ret DPS. So,
Hey,
yeah.
yeah, and let's go ahead and put up the other spec. That being said,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
that we wanted to cover. So basically, some stuff. You don't need spiritual focus, I guess, for PvE Ret, but you got to remember it's only like 10% of int, and if you're doing your Ret suit correctly, you should only have like 100 intellect.
Yeah.
Honest to God. So spiritual focus. I mean, there's an argument that you'd want it for PvE, especially for 5 and 10 man.
Just real quick, the big thing is for me, and it's something I've personally experienced, is there's times where you're taking some AoE damage, you're getting hit by something, and you're just like, I have to heal myself, and I'm getting hit, but I have to heal myself. First thing that comes to mind is the Rend fight, and UBRS is one. Like, sometimes the whelp's just hitting you, and healers have to heal the tanks. Yeah, it reduces your DPS, but like we had mentioned before, if you're dead, you're doing 0 DPS. But sorry, go ahead and keep going.
And then another one that's really optional is like, if you're all about PvE Ret and you just don't care about anything else, you probably don't get a repentance, just get that extra point in benediction. So moving on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about weapons.
Yeah, and this is one that we got quite a bit in the last couple days since we did this video, is people asking about weapon speed. But generally speaking, the slower your weapon, the better for Ret, because Seal of Command, which is your main seal, which we talked about already, it goes off of a proc per minute proc rate. It's 7 proc per minute. So what that means is that no matter what your weapon speed is, it's going to proc 7 times in 1 minute. So whether that's you're using a 1.9 speed one-hander or a 4.0 speed nicker or Pendulum of Doom or whatever, you're going to proc the same amount of time. So in turn, that means that the proc rate is actually higher with the slower weapons. It's going to proc on a higher percentage of your hits. Also, another thing with the higher weapon speed, slower weapon, is that they have a higher attack power to damage coefficient. So 14 attack power equates to 1 DPS. So, I mean, for example,
And I want to say,
yeah,
what Esfand is talking about right now is so important. Like, I keep seeing all these Ret Paladins running around with like Vendor Strike and
Destiny,
Nightblade and Destiny, guys.
yeah,
That's half your damage.
yeah, not good.
Like, our two-hand damage is not normalized, like, at all. Like, there's no cap. Like, you want 4.0 delay or 3.8. It just does way more damage.
Yeah, and that's huge. I mean, we both upgraded from the Nicker to Arcanite Reaper, and I mean, it's like a 700 gold upgrade on Elysium right now, and like, it's not really that much of an upgrade, because I mean, it's higher top end damage and all that, but you're also losing 0.2 weapon speed. If you can't afford it, it's not worth the upgrade. And I mean, we couldn't afford it. We're just crazy. So we
yeah, but Nicker is a great starting weapon. It does put a debuff on the boss, so I wouldn't use it in a raid, but it's a great weapon. If you just hit level 60, farm the Nicker from LBRS.
Yeah. One more thing with that is that 2 weapons could actually have the same damage range, but if it has a higher delay, it'll hit harder because of how the attack power ratio works. So 1 DPS, 14 attack power equates to 1 DPS, right? So if you have a 4.0 speed weapon like the Nicker, that 14 attack power turns into 4 flat damage, right? 1 damage per second, 4 seconds, 4 damage. So if you have a slower, or if you have a faster weapon, then 14 attack power is going to mean less damage. So again, same range, shorter delay, less damage, based on your attack power. So again,
go over Seal Command.
Yeah, since we're talking about weapon speed, I guess with Seal Command, Seal Command procs for 70% of your weapon damage as holy damage. So because it's holy, because it's a magic damage that actually can't be resisted. There's no resist. It can be dodged, blocked, parried, but it can't be resisted. It'll actually do more than your white hit pretty often, just because your white hits being reduced by armor. So that's just something. That's why sometimes you'll see your Seal Command hitting for higher than your white hits, is because it cuts through armor. So yeah, that's affected directly by attack power, because attack power increases your top end damage, which we already talked about. Melee crit chance is what it's based off of, and it has a. We haven't been able to test this yet because there's not a whole lot of spell damage gear out there right now on Elysium, but we do know that on Vanilla and in Burning Crusade that it had a 29% spell damage coefficient on the proc. So spell damage actually helps your Seal of Command damage as well. The second part of Seal of Command is the Judgment. Judgment works the same way. It's a magic spell, but it works off your physical stats. It works off your physical hit chance, again 8%, we said that in the other video, and your physical crit chance. So you don't need spell hit or anything for Judgment, even though it's a magic spell, cuts through armor, does holy damage. There's actually a 43% spell damage coefficient on this as well, which is pretty huge.
Yeah, and of course it's 86% if they're stunned.
Right,
so
yeah.
really good spell damage coefficient.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous.
It's stunned and it works off melee crit, so when it crits, it doubles.
Yeah.
Instead of 1.5 like spells. You can get like 2k.
It's 43%, but then double that, 86% off of the stun, and then double that again off of a crit. So yeah, pretty ridiculous how much damage you can do.
Racials.
Yes, racials.
Humans are the best, probably, with +5 sword and mace skill. This is like really important in reducing glancing damage, which is a huge thing when you're fighting like raid bosses. But you know, the dwarf isn't worthless for PvE Ret, because in AQ40, being immune to poison and bleeds, but mostly poison, is huge, like retardedly huge. Anyways, next thing I'm gonna talk about is pretty controversial, and I'm gonna talk about auras, the nightfall that everyone's always telling you to get, and off healing, and drama around that. So you might be asked to off heal or use a nightfall or something.
Yeah.
Don't always listen unless it's a direct order.
You basically want to do whatever you can to not off heal or do, because I mean you can explain this more, but you want to do everything you can to increase
it really sucks that you have to do this, because the stigma around paladins, there'll be nothing more important than your place on the damage meter. You want to be as high as possible, and you don't want to do anything that could make you go lower on the damage. Until your guild respects you and knows what you're capable of doing, don't do any of this auxiliary stuff. I know it's
just stupid. It's
terrible.
Just stupid. Like that's just all.
It sucks. Like there's no way around it. Every time I'm helpful like this, people are rude to me
screwed.
later on.
You just get screwed.
They'll
act nice to you in the moment. And I mean,
if you're a total punk and everybody wipes and you're in like 4th place in Molten Core, people will love you.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, this Ret Paladin is awesome.
Ret Paladin does good damage," and it's like, yeah, but like, what if he had popped out and started healing? Like, I mean, it's just like in a situation where we would have wiped.
Like,
I actually remember I did a
don't divine intervention early either.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he died. You gotta get all the max damage out.
Be the last paladin to do it. I mean, it's totally retarded, but that is just the truth. If you want to progress as a Ret Paladin, you have to consistently you have to worship the damage meter, even if it means nothing.
It's just like the whole thing is just stupid. That's just. So we thought we kind of would have covered it on whenever we started talking about stat prioritization, but I mean, really, maybe that wasn't clear enough. So we really thought we should just go through and kind of say specifically what we think is the best enchant for each slot. 7 strength to gloves is best in slot right now until 15 agility comes out, and then 15 agility is probably going to be better. 7 agility to boots. Remember, you can get agility to boots because you got Pursuit of Justice in the spec, so it allows you to do more damage. 8 strength Libram.
What else?
Then, well, for the shoulders, there's nothing really right now, but I know we would suggest that you should just get the Fire Resist enchant from Argent Dawn until ZG comes out. It was ZG that had the attack power. And then for bracers, 9 strength to bracer. And for weapon, there's really a few different options, but what we've decided on...
Crusader.
Yeah, Crusader. I mean, we just think Crusader, massive strength buff, 100 strength. That comes out to 220 AP, actually. 200 AP, 10% more from Divine Strength, so 220. And then if you have Kings, 240 AP. So just massive buff. It heals you for a little bit, which is always nice. And it's better on slow weapons due to the higher AP ratio that we talked about earlier. So even better synergy with command. Everything's kind of going in the same direction with your whole build, and that's what you want. Fiery and Lifesteal and the other ones are good too. I mean, there's different options, but we just think Crusader scales the hardest, and it's really just the best option overall.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything else that we had for you guys. Again, we love the feedback, we love the questions, we love the comments. Just you know, you guys keep asking, and we'll keep it coming. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys soon.